We have, but some quick news before we go. If you were in downtown Alexandria this afternoon, you probably left covered in color.
And that's right, Holi Fest in Cenla returned this weekend, filling the streets with music, culture, and clouds of bright powder. Take a look. Holi originated in India and is often known as the Festival of Colors. The celebration is famous for its vibrant powder tosses as festival goers filled the air with bursts of color. The tradition symbolizes the arrival of spring and the victory of good over evil.
And organizers say the festival also serves as a fundraiser for the Children's Advocacy Network, an organization that supports abused and neglected children across Cenla. Holi Fest is hosted each year in downtown Alexandria by the Cenla India Association.